Welcome to this week's Young Buzz, where we explore topics of interest to young people across the BRICS Plus world. This week, we shed light on a global crisis that transcends borders, economies, and societies. This multi-billion-dollar industry is rooted in exploitation, deception, and suffering. Human trafficking. From the heart of bustling metropolises to the farthest rural corners, the BRICS Plus nations are not immune to the silent crime. We uncover the hidden chains of human trafficking. Do you know how many lives are affected by trafficking? Most of us walk past it, unaware, as it operates in plain sight.
What is human trafficking? No, not road traffic. Trafficking of human beings. Human trafficking means selling people. A human trafficker benefits from making others do things, like forced labor or sexual acts. Human trafficking can happen anywhere, and it's a booming crime. Traffickers take in about $150 billion every year. That's more than illegal weapon sales and nearly as much as drug trafficking. Traffickers can sell a drug or a gun once, but they can sell a person over and over. It can happen to anyone. About a third of trafficking victims are kids, with the average age being just 14. It's not like in the movies, with people getting kidnapped off the street. Usually, victims are trafficked by someone they know and trust, like a family member, friend, or someone they feel connected with online. Many traffickers pretend to understand your needs and care about you. They promise you love, a new life, adventure, or glamorous work. At first, it seems great, but soon they demand something, and it might seem very wrong. They stay in control with threats, manipulation, and even violence. There is hope. Human trafficking can be prevented. Beware of traffickers' tricks. Talk about suspicious behavior with your safe adults, and know you are special and deserve to be safe.
She looked beautiful. She looked like a Barbie doll. She looked fun and sweet.
I remember she has like 1 million followers on her Instagram. I was like, yeah, I want to be like her.
It's a story that rocked social media and sent shockwaves through the influencer world. Kat Torres, a Brazilian-born Instagram star with millions of followers, was arrested in connection with a human trafficking ring. Torres, once admired for her glamorous lifestyle, is now at the center of a dark and chilling scandal.
She was so blissful, she was so sweet.
She was using me as a slave.
Behind the filtered images and perfect posts, investigators say she was involved in a sinister world, exploiting vulnerable women under the guise of opportunity.
She said she was around 12 when she started modeling. She liked wearing red lipstick, and she would have this short Chanel hair. People would always tell her she looked pretty and that she should model. So she decided to model so she could afford not to have to live with her parents anymore.
Miss Caieiras. Cati Torres, 1,73 m, 88 centímetros de quadril e 86 de busto.
I think sometime when she was around 18, some agency offered her to go to Europe, and she decided to go.
Hi, my name is Kat Torres. I'm a model and I'm an actress. I'm working in Milan now. I'm Brazilian. And what can I say about me is I'm a very good mood person, so I'm always smiling, and I think life is beautiful and we should smile all the time.
She was working for many different companies as a lingerie model. She went to South Korea to shoot, she went to Colombia, and it was always lingerie or like some swimwear.
Authorities claim that Torres used her influence and platform to recruit young women, often promising them modeling contracts and high-paying gigs in glamorous locations.
She was in cover of magazines. She was seen with famous people such as Leonardo DiCaprio.
The Brazilian press was saying that she was Leonardo DiCaprio's new blonde.
Influencers like Kat can easily gain the trust of vulnerable individuals. They project an image of success and aspiration, but behind that, traffickers often use these figures as frontliners, masking exploitation as opportunity. Many of these women were trafficked, forced into exploitative situations, and left with no way out. Torres is accused of playing a pivotal role in luring them into this dangerous web, leveraging the trust her followers placed in her.
Quero vocês todos milionários e ponto final. Só que vender cursinho na internet não estava funcionando mais. Só que eu pensei, tem um site, as pessoas já se prepararam energeticamente, agora elas podem vir até a minha casa e eu vou mostrar para elas o que é ter dinheiro. Então eu quero todo mundo aqui trabalhando comigo. Eu tô fazendo, eu tô trazendo os brasileiros para cá.
But this isn't just a story about Kat Torres. It's a wake-up call to the powers social media influencers wield and the dangers lurking behind the allure of fame and fortune. As platforms like Instagram and TikTok continue to grow, so too does the dark potential for their exploitation.
A gente trabalha aqui 24 horas do dia e tem que trabalhar mesmo. E tem que acordar às 5 da manhã e dormir às 2 da manhã. E assim é para todas as pessoas da casa. Então não vai achando que vai chegar aqui, vai ser moleza, que lá. Queridos, acabou o sentimentalismo.
For many of Torres' followers, the revelation of her arrest was unthinkable. How could someone who inspired so many be implicated in something so heinous?
Polícia de imigração teria sido acionada em caso de brasileiras desaparecidas no Texas. A gente começa a edição de hoje falando do caso das brasileiras que vieram trabalhar aqui nos Estados Unidos e que, segundo os familiares, estavam desaparecidas por meses.
Que conhece.
The fans, many of them young women themselves, have been left grappling with feelings of betrayal and anger.
Getting inside with Kat and when we were doing the interview, and she really didn't give a model of what her business was for or how it worked. It just said that the girls worked with her and she was a life coach for other girls. There's also another immediate red flag where this is far more common, that it's someone you trust. It's more like a relationship is built and trust is gained, and it's grooming tactics like that. Sometimes in these human trafficking organizations, the victims have a sort of quota to make.
Catiúcia Torres, de 34 anos, agora está presa no Brasil por suspeita de manter pessoas em condições análogas à escravidão.
Torres now awaits trial, facing a future far removed from the glamorous life she once flaunted. Her story highlights a growing issue in the BRICS Plus world. Human trafficking remains one of the most pervasive and underreported crimes, often operating in the shadows of society's brightest lights. In BRICS Plus nations, human trafficking continues to thrive, with victims often disappearing without a trace. Initiatives to combat trafficking are ramping up, but cases like Kat Torres remind us that traffickers can come from anywhere, even the glossy, filtered world of influencers.
Behind the numbers are the stories of individuals, women, men, and children, sold like commodities. Their voices are often silenced, but their stories are essential to understanding the scope of this crisis. India is a critical player in human trafficking, with thousands of people trafficked internally and across borders. In rural areas, traffickers prey on vulnerable communities, promising better lives in urban centres.
In the East Delhi neighbourhood of Ashok Nagar, it's the end of the school day. Excited children head home down narrow streets. But a familiar sight is now a painful reminder for the Singh family. 3 months ago, their 13-year-old son Shivam went missing.
My son had gone to the temple, saying he would buy some sweets nearby. But someone kidnapped him from there.
A quiet boy who studied hard, Shivam made his family proud. They've searched everywhere for their son and alerted the police, but so far there are no leads, and all that's left are his possessions.
I really miss him. I wake up and just wait. Whoever took my son, please give him back. I just want him back.
Every day, 14 children go missing in India's capital. Most are snatched off the street by criminal gangs who target the city's poor, overcrowded areas. They're sold as cheap labour, forced to work in appalling conditions or in prostitution. Of the more than 5,000 children who disappeared in Delhi last year, only a third were found or rescued. Activists say the authorities aren't doing enough to stop child trafficking because children are treated as second-class citizens.
Even after 60 years of independence and all that, anything related to children, finds a very, very secondary place in government's perspective.
Sahay says the police also neglect the issue, but many officers say a lack of resources and organisation on a national level makes tracing missing children more difficult.
Better coordination between state police chiefs would help. Secondly, it would be good if all the police station databases were connected.
Some kidnapped children do make it home. 12-year-old Sharat Kumar was bundled into a van by a man outside his school and taken to a yard in another part of Delhi before being rescued by some passing boys.
A man picked me up. He kept me under a tree. And then he said, "Wait here, I'm coming back with more kids." Then 3 boys saw me, and they asked me for my address, and they helped bring me home.
Sharat is one of the lucky ones, but until India steps up its efforts to stop child trafficking, thousands of sons and daughters may never return.
When they were just girls, these women had their lives dedicated to the Indian deity, Yalama. They became what is known as Devadasis, or God's servants. Girls as young as 10 are married off to the goddess and effectively used as sex slaves for men.
ಮತ್ತು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕಾಯ್ದೆಗೆ ಬಂದ ಬಳಕ ಅದೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಸಾದ್ರ ಮಾವನ ಕೂಡ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮದುವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವತ್ತ ಅಂದ ಅದು ಆಗ ಆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಕ ಆಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕರೆದ ಸಾದ್ರ ಮಾವ ಒಂದು ಸೀರೆ ತರೋದ ಬಳಿ ಇಡಿಸೋದ.
On a hilltop in the small town of Sundati in Karnataka state lies a temple devoted to the goddess. The Devadasis are not allowed to marry a mortal. Instead, they are forced to sacrifice their virginity to an older man when they hit puberty, in return for money or goods. The practice is a way for poverty-stricken families from lower castes to relieve themselves of the responsibility of their daughters, often seen as a financial burden in India. Some believe their fortunes will change or that they may be cured of an illness if they give up their daughters to the goddess.
ಹಂಗೆ ಅದೊಂದು ಮೂಢನಂಬಿಕೆಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನ ಹಾಳಾಗ್ತಂತ್ರಿ.
Satava Jadati heads an NGO that helps former Devadasis. She herself was once a Devadasi. Through traditional songs and awareness-raising sessions in schools and villages, she hopes to put an end to this tradition.
ಈ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ನೀವು ಯಾಕೆ ದೇವದಾಸಿ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ನೀವು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ 91ನೇ ಇಸ್ವಿ ನಂತರ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರೋಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು.
The practice has been banned for decades, and campaigners say the numbers have decreased, but girls are still dedicated to Yalama in secret ceremonies.
ಈಗ ಯಾರೋ ಮಾಡಾಕತ್ತಾರಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ತಡೆಗಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದು ಫನ ತಟ್ಟಿ ನಿಂತಿದ್ದೇವೆ ನಾವು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಆದದ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ನಂದು.
Four decades after the state ban, there are still more than 70,000 Devadasis in Karnataka, according to India's Human Rights Commission.
Meanwhile, in South Africa, forced prostitution is the dominant form of trafficking. Young ladies are lured with the promise of work, only to find themselves in brutal conditions, selling their bodies, often turning to drugs and no way out.
What these people are doing is taking someone's life and making them to do things that they didn't sign up for or they didn't agree to do.
Every time I got sober, I used to cry a lot.
You cannot be able to sleep with more than 10 men without being on a substance.
It's like client in, client out, client in. And I didn't count at that time.
When the street was quiet, about 6 clients. And then when it was busy, maybe 10 to 15 or 20.
But I think like maybe 10 to 15 people.
If I hear something, or if I smell something, and then a person's face pops up.
He used to play this song, a gospel song. I so hate that song. It's called Jesus, You Love Me Too Much. Or he used to play it every time when he comes to pick me up.
I literally heard his voice calling me, but he was not there.
Can I please have a break? Can I have a bottle?
So yeah.
Yeah. I grew up in a very dysfunctional family. My mom was an alcoholic and a prostitute.
I grew up with a single mom. My dad wasn't present. The life that we were living was like asking from the neighbors.
So basically my mom was a domestic worker. My dad was in the picture, but he was that dad that needed to be pressurized in order for him to maintain me.
I grew up with a lot of rejection, hate, unloved and unwanted because I thought like I was a mistake. Why my mom didn't love me? Because even though at my childhood stage, my mom tried to take my life twice as I grew up, but she didn't succeed. At the age of 14 years, I started looking love in wrong places because I had that void in me, needed to be loved. So I would go around, sleep with any guy that I found.
My mom couldn't like provide some of the things that my friends had. So I had to seek it from somewhere else. And with guys my age, I can't get it. But with an older guy, I can get it. So friends introduced me to older guys.
When I got to grade 8, I started not listening to my aunts also, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes. I had a friend that was in grade 12 and I ran away from my aunt's place.
When I reached my high schools, so I started being smart and opening up and like seeing life in a different way. So that's when I started meeting bad friends where we will smoke weed, marijuana at school. And then I started like bunking school day and day, not going to school, just sitting in the park and we'll be smoking weed and stuff like that.
Being in grade 8 and being friends with matric guys, you're seen as this, you know, everyone wants to hang around you and basically what they do is drinking and smoking. And I thought being cool would include all of that. So I did it. Yeah, and that was when I actually met also my first Nigerian boyfriend. Yeah, so I think that's when things started spiraling out of control.
We started going out clubbing a lot, like Monday to Sunday, me and Lihle and her friend, we used to go out clubbing a lot. That's where everything basically started, like sleeping around with guys, meeting them at clubs, prostituting ourselves, not even knowing that we were. That's where my drug addiction also started because I couldn't keep up.
I started going to clubs at the age of 14 years. Started sleeping around, then I'll go to the club, then I meet this guy, go with him. And then from there, that's when at the age of 15 years, I started prostituting myself. Here I was beaten with a broken broom, a stick of a broom. So Escape like kind of like stepped me with that like a broken piece of a wood of a broom here. And then here he kind of like bent me. What he did, he tied my both hands and then he boiled hot water in the kettle. And then he poured that hot water on that belt and then he put Dettol on it.
I contracted the HIV. I became suicidal. I felt like, why am I still even alive? Why didn't they just take my life at that time? Why did I still have to go through the others? Why did I have to experience what I experienced? Why didn't I just die?
I felt very dirty. I felt very useless. I felt used and abused. I tried to commit suicide twice, whereby it didn't work. Yeah, also it was like a pool table corner. He slapped me. Then I entered in that pool table corner. So like it was very deep, and then I had to go and stitch here. And then I had some scar on my back also where he stabbed me with a full glass, and then it broke on my back.
It is real. It's happening within our confines around us, and we need to be aware that any child is at risk.
Silence hides violence. If you see something, you are your brother's keeper, your sister's keeper, report it. If you see something, if you suspect something, if you hear something, report it immediately.
When I got changed, I kind of like spoke to that young girl that was hurt at that time and hated herself, had that self-hatred so much that she didn't love herself. So I kind of like spoke to her and I asked for forgiveness, and I wrote her a letter that said, you know what, I'm sorry that I put you through what you went through. It wasn't my intentions, it happens, but look where we are today. We are very strong today, so yeah.
I am proud of myself because honestly speaking, not a lot of people are proud of me. Not a lot of people do see the change in me. Not even my family do see the change in me, but the woman that I am today is strong, she's bold, she's went through a lot, and she keeps fighting battles every single day with her God on her side. I am proud of myself because I never thought I would have made it out, and I did make it out. I never thought that I would be this bright girl again, and I did. I never thought that I would change. It takes a whole lot of time to change. It's an everyday progress, having self-control, but I managed to control, so I have that self-control every day. I wake up every day and wear that crown. Proud of myself, and I'm happy for where I am right now in my life, and having to learn a whole lot of new things about myself.
Despite the scale of the problem, there are those who are fighting back. Governments, non-profit organizations, and activists are working tirelessly to combat trafficking. While progress is being made, the fight is far from over. Corruption, lack of resources, and legal loopholes continue to allow traffickers to operate. We at BGTN are doing our part.
22 Seconds came about. I've been working on human trafficking stories recently. I've been doing documentaries. It was just like, are we doing enough? It was a campaign that was, let's challenge ourselves, let's get it out there, let's try and reach as much people as possible.
130 people are trafficked all around the world per hour. So every 22 seconds, someone is being trafficked. 22 seconds could be your walk from a school gate inside the school. It could be your walk from your house to the bus station. It's just a short distance.
This campaign is a campaign that is set to raise awareness, to show the severity of this crime that's happening around us. I'm hoping that it will get society to speak about it. It will get communities, governments, and organizations to come together and tackle this. I'm hoping that it will get the young girl, the young boy to understand the dangers that we live around. And we're speaking to schools so that children are also aware of this. Teachers are aware, because also teachers play a vital role into seeing kids that they teach that this child was not like this. We will continue campaigning and we will continue moving towards our goal of getting 22 million signatures. You can share the campaign firstly on social media using the hashtags 22 seconds not for sale, hashtag 22 seconds empower change, because we are empowering change. Please sign the petition. The whole idea also behind the petition is that once we reach 22 million signatures, we will take it to the UN.
It is up to us to raise awareness and show human trafficking that it has no place in our society.
Ending human trafficking requires global cooperation. In the BRICS Plus world, it's not just about law enforcement, but also raising awareness, educating communities, and supporting survivors.